Hi, my name's Abby Hale and I am back because I'm going to be continuing with the rest of the Camino series. So if you haven't watched my first video, I recommend you watch that because this video is actually a continuation of the last one. So if you didn't hear in my last video, this is actually going to be a continuation of the Camino series because it is official and I'm doing it, so expect more frequent uploads. And as I've also said this on the internet, there really is no going back from it. As we all know, once things are said on the internet, they stay on there forever. So yeah, but this video is actually going to be like a pre-journey to the journey itself. So I thought it might be useful, maybe even interesting if you just hear like the different places I had to get to before getting to my starting point in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. So when the day of 23rd of July had finally arrived, that was the day I had left and gotten into France. So that very morning was the first time I had officially put on my backpack with everything inside of it. So that was the first time I knew the exact weight I would have to carry across this period of over a month. And if you've read up on like any Camino websites, you will know that they recommend you walk and practice walking and doing training months in advance with the backpack, knowing the amount of weight so your shoulders and your body is ready and are both ready to take on the Camino. So I didn't, because I had actually a few questions of like, was this a massively pre-planned thing? And no, it wasn't. I had decided to do this within 6 days. It was quite a spontaneous idea, which I will perhaps get into a later video of like the reasons why and the purpose. But that said, I think your body will adapt, well mine did at least, to the Camino. As I said in the last video, you build up stamina as you go along. So even though I was doing the training whilst doing the main event, it's something that if it's because it's like according to you that you do the Camino, like you can walk as many kilometers as you want per day, or you can like walk as long as you want to walk. It's really up to you, so you know when to not overly strain yourself. However, I did kind of strain myself in the beginning anyway, so just a few tips that might help you not do the things I did or do the things I did. So just everything I say in these videos, like just take what you feel you want to take from it. Once I had put on the backpack, that was when I really knew, and I was like, how am I going to carry this weight for over a month? I was like, this is actually gonna like hurt my shoulders, like for sure. Which it actually did, because I had like 2 of the straps were like twisting by the end of the Camino, and they kind of were like 2 threads grating on my shoulders, like digging into my flesh, and I had bruises. But if you want to do this for the sake of penance, go ahead, because I did some of it for penance as well. So you know, whichever purpose you go for the Camino, have a purpose of it, and even if you don't, maybe you will find your purpose along the way. But yeah, once I had gotten to the airport, I had realised I need to like check in. And once I had checked in, I sent my luggage off, which was the one backpack, and it was quite funny because after the last video, I actually had people messaging me about different parts of the Camino and a backpack as well. Like the backpack became a topic of discussion in the sense that like people were saying to me that they can give me like really good websites or like companies that do really good quality backpacks for any future endeavors I might have, and one person even said that they can give me like a really good discount code that they have, so I can get like really good quality cheap backpacks. So I mean, first of all, thank you for your generosity, because I really did not expect that, but secondly, the backpack, it was like a good backpack, but it was the fact that I was carrying it for over a month and I was walking on average more than 10 hours per day. It was carrying the weight of 8, 9, 10 kilograms, and you do have to carry around 10 kilograms sometimes, because on some parts of the Camino you won't have any source of water for miles and miles and kilometers on end. So it's really important that you have that extra weight, even if like, you know, because it is water and it's something you need. So you're not really recommended to carry over 10% of your body weight, so I really shouldn't have carried more than 5.5 kilograms, but I carried almost double that in some cases. So yeah, just like a warning, just so you know, with backpack weights and everything, like just to keep that in mind. And also I keep saying miles and kilometers because on the Camino, because it is in France and Spain, everything is in kilometers. Like that's just the European way of like measuring distance. It's all in kilometers, and as we know in England, it's like all in miles. So I'm actually more used to kilometers now, because if you said to me, how long would it take you to walk like 40 kilometers? I could easily tell you. Like, my mind envisions like the distance straight away, and I could tell you how long it would take me. If you tell me how long would it take you to walk 40 miles, I haven't got a clue. I just know that like 20 kilometers is around 12, 13 miles. So I mean, I could make it, but judged on that, like, you know, judged on that measurement. But I'm not trying to betray the Brits here, like, but I am used to like kilometers now because of that long period of time I spent in France and Spain. But yeah, once I had checked in, sent my luggage off, I realised I had to check for any like documents I had taken with me, to make sure I had that all with me, because you obviously need your important documents, such as, for me, in my case, was my consent form. So like the consent form is something that you need if you are under the age of 18. So because I was 16 at the time, I had to make sure I had that with me, because obviously you'll be in really big trouble if you end up being somewhere abroad without parental permission. So I realised I didn't have the consent form on me, and I'd left it at home, and it was like a document I'd actually printed out, and it was kind of important in that sense. But then Mum's friend had said, oh, it's fine, you can just write a quick note and just get it signed. And I thought, okay, is that definitely okay? Like, I'm not going to be stopped by like the Guardia. The Guardia is like the police in Spain. I wasn't, because I had got it signed. Like, my mum quickly wrote a note and just signed it with her signature, so that was fine, and that was like a little dilemma that was solved. But that said, I didn't actually use the consent form, like, not even once the whole time I was away in Spain. Like, the whole time I was away in France or Spain, I didn't have to use it once. So I'm just saying, you know, you might not have to use it. But that said, if you are underage and you decide to go anywhere abroad or like the Camino, make sure you do have a consent form, because you never know when they would ask you for it, even if I was never asked for it. But yeah, and the other thing is, like, the training aspect of this, a couple of days before I had actually gone on this Camino, and because I decided in 6 days, it didn't give me much time to do all this like prep in advance. My brother had asked me, like, hey Abigail, do you want to go for a run? And I was like, yeah, sure, because I thought, this is it, I need to get some kind of training in. And we ended up going for a run, and there was like this hill that we were running up, and he was ahead of me, and he was like, come on Abigail, you have to pick up your pace, like, you know, you can't be like slowing down now. And I was like, yeah, 1 second. And I'm just like trying to get up this hill, and I was just like finding this like really like strenuous, and my brother was like finding this incredibly funny, but I mean, of course he was, because I was already out of breath halfway up a hill, and I'm gonna do this Camino where I'm having to walk over mountains and mountains, like thousands of kilometers up high. So this is thousands of meters, sorry, thousands of meters up high. So it was gonna be something that I was like, how am I gonna do this? And he still found it funny even after I came back. He was like, I don't know how you managed to do that, if you couldn't run up a hill in Gloucester Park. So that was incredibly funny. But yeah, once I had left and I had said goodbye to my mum, that was actually very hard, in the sense that I wasn't really sure how it was gonna be, in the sense I'd have to fend completely for myself, and it was like, that's completely understandable. Like, I didn't even expect to go on this Camino until 6 days before I had decided it. So my mum actually had more trust in me than I had in myself, so that was actually very reassuring, that she put this faith into me, that, like, you know, when someone, especially your mum, has that trust in you, that you can do something, it motivates you more to be able to do it. So once I had left her, it was a bit sad for that sense, but then once I was on the plane, I was like totally happy. Like, the only fear, I think you could say, that I had was not really a fear, it was more a worry. Like, and it's like, you know, most of you will say, oh, it's completely understandable if you're 16 and you're completely scared, which I actually wasn't, to be completely honest. The only slight worry I had was how people would treat me because of my age. Like, would they like be more cautious around me, or, you know, would they like disregard kind of what I had to say, or, you know, like treat me in a way that was not how I wanted to be treated, or you know, in that sense. And I can tell you, the whole time I was away in the Camino, that was not something that did affect me one bit. If anything, it enhanced my whole entire experience, because I actually didn't meet anyone who was my age, which was kind of sad in that sense, but everyone I did meet, like, they were really people that made an impact on my life. And I could learn so much from every single person that I met, and I felt like they could learn something from me as well, because of the reasons I wanted to do this, and just like the journey I had thus far, and then meeting them had just added to my journey. So that was really, really beautiful to like see. Yeah, I did stay in contact with my mum every single day, so she knew that I was actually okay. And I was, making sure I video called her every single day. Would tell her where I am at that point, even if she didn't know where that actually was. So I'd actually screenshot on Google Maps, like, this is my location, she would see, and I would tell her this is how far I've walked from Saint-Jean already. And it's, it's really nice. I had like that kind of vlog with her, so she was like kind of virtually walking the Camino with me, you could say. Got into France. That's when I really knew I'm fending for myself, because the point where I had left her, I knew, okay, I'm on my own, but I'm still in England, like my home country is still here, like I'm still familiar with everything. So once I got into France, that's when it really kicked in that you're completely on your own. And that was the other thing that I had as like a question, was this something you did completely on your own? Like, did you go with like a pilgrimage company? And I think there are pilgrimage companies out there, but when you're walking the Camino, you mainly go on your own, like in the sense that the Camino is kind of like decided by yourself. Like, you book the places as you go along, and you have to like make sure you get the food every night. And I had to like make sure that once I had gotten to France, like the only thing I did in advance was book my flight ticket to get to France. The rest of it was like something I had booked along the way. So like even once I got into France, I had to make sure, okay, now I need to get to like Bayonne. And once I got to Bayonne, I had to get to like Saint-Jean. And to get to Bayonne, I had to take the bus. So I had to go find the bus stop as soon as I got there. So it was nothing organised. Everything had, like, the whole responsibility of trying to get to different places was completely on me. No one else had any input in that sense. But yeah, this video has just been kind of like an insight to like the little bits on the side that I had to do before getting to the actual Camino itself. And in the next video I will talk about what it was like getting into France. And yeah, so thank you for watching this video. If you liked this video, give it a like, and also subscribe so you can stay on the Camino journey. But till then, buen Camino, and